So what does the word family mean to me? I don't know where to begin to describe. A mother, a father, an older brother, perhaps a baby sister, a group of people that understand each other, striving, struggling through this grind, laughing through most of my days, never really thinking past this. But I stem from a line so long, a family tree so vast that it's frightening. A billion people in the East just like me, the resemblance is striking. Thinking about how often all my friends have cracked that same old joke. How many chins in a Chinese phone book, Bryan? Well, more relatives than I care to count, but how many I actually know? Well, none. You see, I've been taught that everything that grows has roots, but I've been standing here without a foundation. Across the great Pacific, is any one of them feeling the same pain? Surrounded by each other, I never realized how isolated I am out here. You think I'm standing right here sharing with all of you my internal fears of not knowing those that share what run through my veins, perhaps cry the same tears, laugh the same laughs, perhaps cheer in their own special cheers. Of not knowing any one of my relatives that may not know that I even exist simply because there's too many of us, or simply because I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm not hating, I love where I live, but let's be honest. Have you ever asked anyone from Malaysia where Saskatchewan is? See, I spent days writing on a mirror words such as kinship, till I'm exhausted and can't focus, changing my stances and positions as if I'm imitating what it'd be like to be in a family portrait. I've always wanted it to be like to have cousins galore, aunts and uncles, and it's become so apparent that my parents have never told me much about my grandparents. But I've been back home recently. That's right, the motherland, my mother's land. And was I nervous to meet my reflections in the flesh? Not in the slightest. You see, I've had this desire burning within me to have as many cousins as my friends do. To tell them, yes, I do have a cousin, and that he or she's real cool too. To finally know what it may feel like to be at a family reunion rather than joke around there's too many of us to have one. I'll never forget this. On my grandmother's 79th birthday, I went to see her, a woman bent with age, a beautiful soul, marred by years of struggle, poverty, escaping a war, and all the love she's given. She touched my arm and hugged me. Tears welled up as well as this strange feeling within me. And I know it's not the first time for you, but it's the first time I ever remember meeting you, Grandma. Hello, I said awkwardly. She couldn't hear me, she's deaf. But look in her eyes, I can see the missing piece of the puzzle that is me complete her. And the emotions that we share was as foreign as my surroundings, but I can feel it burning inside feverishly. So I clutched her dearly, but not too roughly, scared I may hurt her. Besides, I've never hugged a grandmother before. But I have learned now that I do have a family. There are those that call me Bugle. It means cousin, older brother. And I have beautiful cousin sisters and strong cousin brothers that brings out the pride in me. Knowledge that when I bleed out of these vessels, it's a lineage, a history. And I've learned that my tree has thick roots entwined this rhythmic drum that pounds inside, the same drum that pounds in the east. Knowledge that when the sun sets over these flat prairies, my cousins will see it rising over mountains. So what does the word family mean to me? Well, that word is as profound as the heartbeats I now feel overseas.